Do it now. Now, God damn it. Okay, here it is. Hello. Welcome, everybody. It's Sci-Fi, and I am joined tonight by my good friend, Jen. Jen's Reviews and Grades. My other good friend, Trenchy, Soulless Trenchcoat.
Yay.
And, welcome, guys.
Thank
Talking
you.
about Thunder in Paradise.
You sent me down a rabbit hole, Ethel. Whoa, boy. I came prepared tonight, and oh my God.
It is a rabbit hole for sure.
Yeah.
And I got one question. Where is anybody who watches the show? Where is Jim Anvil Neidhart? He's in the credits. He has a name, but we can't find him in the episode. It's like, where's Waldo? But with Jim Anvil Neidhart, we gotta find him.
He plays Kowalski.
Nobody knows who that is. It's very confusing.
Well, he's in episode 3, I think.
Oh, then why is he in the credits for 1 and 2? Oh, Jesus.
He might be on the beach in the background in 1 and 2.
I think he is. I was watching a thing, Trenchy, and I think he's in the bar. You gotta look hard, but like you said, where's Waldo? I think he might be. There's a scene with that little bar thing they have.
Yeah, I know Jimmy Hart and Brutus the Barber Beefcake are there, but
Yeah.
I'll have to look again.
This show is very much a beach show, which is nice. And admittedly, I probably should have talked about it back when I was doing the beach theme episode, but that's okay. We're talking about it now in the dead of winter, and that's what's more appropriate than that.
I think so.
Think warm thoughts, guys. Think warm thoughts. Speaking of warm thoughts, this show was created by Michael Burke, Gregory J. Bonan, and Douglas Schwartz. If any of these names sound familiar to you, you probably watched a little beach show called Baywatch.
Yeah, this like I didn't watch. Like I watched the pilot movie, and I was watching the second. In fact, I finished the second movie. Didn't get in time for the third movie, but and basically, like the one is just a pilot for the first one is just a pilot for the show. The movie is just a pilot for the show, and then the other movies are basically just two-parters of the whole show together, which is interesting way to do it. And I was so confused, Ethel. I was because they dropped storylines, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? The show with Hulk Hogan should not be this convoluted. God damn it.
Well, you're dealing with wrestling. That wrestling's totally convoluted.
I suppose that's true.
Now, to set the stage for anyone who hasn't seen it, and maybe I can clear up some of the convolutity.
Okay.
Hulk Hogan and his best pal Chris Leben, who plays Martin Brubaker, and Hulk Hogan, of course, is playing Randolph J. Hurricane Spencer.
Renegade.
I
know, is that great? What great names!
Too bad he wasn't dressed up as the Hurricane with the green cape and the green suit.
He has an eye patch, Richie. He has an eye patch.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are both highly skilled ex-Navy SEAL, and and currently Spencer is working as a shark hunter, as well as a mercenary for hire with his friend Brew. And they have a top secret boat that they built because Spencer, he wanted the Navy to build it, and he had this idea to build it. He's like, look, brother, we got to build Thunder. It's going to be the most high-tech stealth boat ever, and it's got a jet ski. It can launch out the back, and it's got Gatling guns, and it'll be so cool, and it can transform on the top to make it like almost like a submarine or something, but it's still a boat. Then we can make it, brother. And they said no. So he leveraged everything he had and spent all his money, and he built it himself with his friend Brew, played by Chris Lemmon, of course. And they built it themselves, but he got into debt, as you do when you build your.
I have to interrupt you right here because I already have some questions, and I'm not being an asshole when I ask this, but is Hulk Hogan and his friend Brew, did anyone else pick up any homoeroticism between the two, or am I just reading way too much into this?
A little bit when we got to season 3, because all right, well, I'll get into why I thought there was a little bit of a homo kind of thing going on, like a little bit of a maybe it's a platonic bromance with like dude love undertones, but I'll get into that. But there is something there, Jen.
Okay, so I'm not just reading into it because there's this in the second movie. He's sleeping at the foot of their bed with the little girl. That sounds really wrong, but you know what I'm talking about, Ethel. And why is there a different little girl? This is
yeah. Oh, which that there. I'll talk about that right now. There are two little girls in this movie that become Hulk Hogan's stepdaughter. And they're supposed to be the same little girl, but they have different actresses. Yeah. Apparently, after they made the pilot, before they started shooting the 3rd episode, the producers decided that this little girl isn't right for the part. Sure, we already shot the pilot and everything, and people have gotten used to her and like her, but she's not right for the part. So let's recast her with a totally different girl, and nobody will notice.
I noticed.
But she's a better actress than some of the actual grown-up actors.
Thank you, Trenchy.
Yeah, the first little girl I thought was better than her replacement.
I hated her replacement. She was an obnoxious little twat. I hated her. Like, the other one, was fine. She was kind of cute. And this one's just like, you shut up, you little bitch. I hope that you do take you.
Yeah, no, the other little girl was an obnoxious shit, and some of her lines sound really stiff.
Yeah. Usually I'm okay with stiffness, but not when it comes from a kid.
But anyway, how does Hulk Hogan get the kid? You might ask yourself if you haven't seen this. Well, I'll get to that. I mentioned the boat. Him and Chris Lemmon, they worked away. They built this awesome high-tech boat that's military grade. DARPA would love to build this thing. And they did it in their backyard in Florida, or the undisclosed island they call Paradise.
Also, Ethel, before we get off the boat, why is it the top of, and I'm not like a boatologist, I don't even know if that's a word, but we're going to just roll with it. But like, why is the top of the boat, not that, and then you go down and it's fucking, the thing under is bigger than the actual boat. Why? Like, I know it was the 90s and suspension of disbelief, but I'm like, no.
It's huge. It's friggin' huge underneath. It's like a fucking cruise ship underneath, but it's a little rinky-dink speedboat up top. Like, I understand. Like,
I was confused too.
Nearest I could tell. Oh, sorry, Trench.
Oh no, go ahead. My bad.
I was just gonna say, nearest I could tell, maybe Chris Lemmon is a Time Lord, and he used secret TARDIS technology to build the interior of Thunder.
That's what I was agreeing with you on that. That's what I was gonna say.
Okay. It just, when I was watching it, I was doing stuff and I saw the top of the boat and I was making some dinner, and when I came back, they were in the bottom of the ship, and I'm like, no.
Well, we gotta remember, in this show, Hulk Hogan is part whale, which I don't know if that was a joke or actual continuity. I can't tell with this show.
Yeah,
so he might be part whale.
Is he part whale, Ethel?
It's hinted at that he may in fact be part. Well, we don't know if it's a joke. We don't know if it's a joke. It could be a joke. He's a Navy SEAL. They're trained to hold their breath for a really long time. He holds his breath for an extraordinarily long time. I don't know. Maybe he was just trying not to smell the script.
In the second movie, they go like there's another part in the second movie where they go down to these things and he has to oxygenate his blood, which fine, go with it. He goes down and he has a choice to go up to get more air, but he just turns around and goes down and back in, and I'm like, why? Why are you doing this, Hulk Hogan? Like, I get it. Oh, and then can we also talk about because he doesn't talk about it, but he's eating there in the first movie. He's eating a bowl of pasta. Is that a reference to Pasta Mania? Because he sure does snack a lot in the boat.
Well, like there's another episode later in the series where he's eating beans and rice and before they go into battle, and a character, I forget who it is, asks him, "Why are you eating beans and rice right now? You're going to be all full." He's like, "Oh, it's complex carbohydrates, brother. It kick in like rocket fuel."
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
He's powered by beans and rice.
Okay.
It's kind of sad because I noticed that the Chris Lemon guy says brother more than Hulk Hogan. And I'm like, no, that's Hulk Hogan's thing. You're getting it wrong.
I think that's intentional.
Whoa.
But anyway.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I have another dumb question, and you're probably going to roll your eyes because, again, I only watch the movies. But what happened to the mother of the little girl? Like, in the hotel owner that he had to marry for some reason? Because she had to marry somebody?
I will explain this. All right. We're going to rewind. So he's leveraged everything he has to build it with his best heterosexual, we think, friend, Chris Lemon, and they built the ultimate machine, but he's deep in debt and he can no longer support himself with his meager earnings as a mercenary and a trained shark hunter. So naturally, he's approached by hotel heiress, I forget what her name is, Whitaker, and she needs to get married because her uncle, who is played by Patrick McAnee, Edward Whitaker, is using a clause in her late father's will that says that she must be married by a certain age to retain ownership of the hotel. Otherwise, it defers to Edward. And she can't have that because Edward wants to sell the property for lots and lots of money and give her half. And this is not good enough for her because the family's name and history is connected to this hotel that they call Paradise. And they need to keep it. So she won't sell, and she needs somebody to marry fast. And who can she marry? Well, she's going to marry Hulk Hogan because her daughter adores him and likes to get parasailing rides, and also because everybody tells her that that's who she needs to marry because they can't stand each other. Okay.
Also, again, before a nitpicky thing, but it bothered me. And when else am I going to ask this? But why did the uncle tell her? Wouldn't it have been smarter? Because she seemed to have forgotten that clause in the will. I would have just not mentioned it until that clause ran out. I know plot convenience and stuff, but it bothers me. It bothers me, Ethel. It really bothers me.
Well, I mean, they try to paint him as an evil bad guy, but he wants to include her in the profits of the sale of the hotel. Like,
yeah,
it's really nice of him. Like, really? Like, well, why wouldn't you take the money? Like, to take the money.
Yeah. But Ethel, he stole out of her candy bag as a child, which led to very deep trauma, and
yes,
now she hates him for life.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's a fair enough point.
Also, that sex scene, Ethel, at the end of the episode, or the end of the pilot. Oh my God! That sex
Yeah.
scene was
Oh,
I
There's
felt
a-
dirty. Me.
for anyone who hasn't seen the pilot, they do get married, and at the end they have to consummate the marriage because they know because of the advanced sensors on Thunder that Edward Whittaker is watching their bedroom and spying on them to see if they consummate their marriage. Look, it was the 90s. The 90s were a very horny decade. It was 1994. Things like this happened. And they're in bed together on their honeymoon, and they're pretending to have sex, knowing that their uncle is watching them. Okay.
Those moans were so bad when Hulk was going, oh, I was like, oh God, dude, please stop. I'd like to have sex with Marty one day. I don't need this reverberating in my head space. Please stop.
To get you in the mood, he'll just be like, lie back and think of Hulk Hogan and that hotel air.
Oh, no. No. I mean, was it just me or was that really bad? Like, was it just the worst sex scene you've ever seen in your life?
It was terrible, and then the camera lingered for a really uncomfortable amount of time where she's biting his bottom lip.
Yeah.
Like, why are we? The creative choices here are very weird. But that's what they do, and of course, because that happens, they're married, and they own 50% of each other's things. So she owns 50% of Thunder, and he owns 50% of the Paradise. And you think, well, this is going to be interesting as the series goes on, and then we get to episode 3, and she's dead.
Oh, so that's what happened to her. She dead. Okay.
Well, what happened was she was in England. And as we know, it gets foggy in London, and she suffered a car accident and died.
How did he get a custody of the girl? I know he was married to her, but shouldn't she go to like blood relatives? I know I'm thinking way too hard.
He had to fight Edward Whittaker legally, of course, because he's a frail old man. He would have snapped him like twigs, but he had to fight him for custody, and he won custody of Jessica, and that's his daughter now. And all of a sudden,
car. There's a scene where he lifted up a car where she's in it, and then she just gets out and goes to him. I'm sorry, Tiff. Like, I don't mean to keep interrupting you, but these things bothered me.
Hey, Brian.
It's a complicated show. It's a very deep. Okay, maybe it's not deep, but it's a very complicated show.
Hulkamania is running wild. That's amazing.
You got to just surrender to the logic of the premise.
I guess.
Also, unexplaining. Just out of nowhere, the girl is completely different, and she's also a different age now. She's like a year or two older than she was in the last thing, which is weird.
Did we do a time warp?
She had a growth spurt and a new haircut, and a whole new attitude, and was no longer the sweet girl that loved Hulk Hogan, but like kind of like a nerdy, bitchy girl that wants to be part of everything. I don't understand. Okay. And why is she so experienced with Thunder? Who let her play with Thunder?
Don't know.
But anyway,
well, the original little girl was smart because she helped figure out the map and stuff. Like,
the map necklace that came out of the shark. Oh my God, Ethel, who wrote that?
Well, you know, Hulk Hogan drunkenly killed a shark, and like, I don't know, like this show's insane.
Yeah, but I mean, and he doesn't clean the necklace. The little girl tells her mom, "Oh no, he cleaned it." No, he didn't. I was screaming at my face. No, he did not. He just handed it to her like, shark germs, shark AIDS, or whatever.
He pulled it right off the shark and gave it to her.
Yeah. It was
But
an ugly necklace too.
And it was a very ugly necklace. I should get into who was in this show. I'm going to get into that because we've laid the basic plot and plot holes and weirdness. You got, of course, Terry Hulk Hogan in this, who is a wrestler, WWF, WCW, WWE, TNA, CWA, Spectrum Wrestling. You know the guy. He was in Suburban Commando. He was in Mr. Nanny. He was in Rocky 3. He was Thunderlips.
Yeah.
He also had a sex tape.
And
no.
he had a sex tape as well. And he was Hogan Knows Best. He had his own like reality show like Ozzy Osbourne. Yay.
Yeah.
So, we got that star power there. And we had Chris Lemon. Guys, Wishmaster. We had fucking Merritt from Wishmaster in this show.
Wait, that guy's from Wishmaster?
Yeah, he was Nick Merritt in Wishmaster.
Oh.
He was
I
also
don't
Jeff.
remember him.
He was also Jeff Cameron in Knots Landing.
Yeah, that's right.
And he was in a movie called The Happy Hooker Goes to Hollywood.
Yep. Good movie.
He played Robbie Rotman.
Hey, Cara.
Hey, Cara. Hey, Scott. Hey, Brian.
Cara, Scott, Brian, I know you're there. I had you highlighted on the screen. Welcome, guys. We also had Carol Alt. Guys, Carol Alt. She was in a TV show called Thinking About Africa. She was in another TV show called Amazon. She was in a movie called Homo Erectus. She was Queen Fallopia in Homo Erectus.
Of course she was. Ethel, is this the bartender that for a minute has a New York accent and then she doesn't in the next few episodes?
Yeah, she had the worst New York accent I've ever heard, and then all of a sudden it was gone, and I was just like, I'm not even gonna ask. Thank goodness.
Does it ever explain why she loses it? Because it bothered me, because in one movie she's very Brooklyn, and then in the next she's not.
Because reasons?
Reasons. Okay.
And of course, I mentioned Patrick McNee, who plays Edward Whittaker. He was in The Howling. He was Dr. George Wagner in The Howling.
Oh.
Yep. He was also Dr. Walton in Nightman, and he was in an episode of Kung Fu: The Legend Continues. He was Stedman.
Very illustrious career.
And he was also in a movie called Superforce as E.B. Hungerford. Like, with resumes like this, how could you not expect the level of quality, sheer quality, that we get in this show?
There were fireworks when there's an explosion, Ethel. In the second movie, something blows up off a building, and you can clearly see that some of it is fireworks. I mean, I'm not trying to be an asshole here, cool if y'all like this, but this was a mind fuck for Jen. I'm like, that's not how explosions work, Ethel. And it wasn't like there was fireworks in the building or something. No, there's just some fireworks. I freeze framed that shit because I was like, no, yes.
Yeah, like I swear I saw a bottle rocket. So Jessica Whittaker Spencer, the second Jessica, was played by Ashley Gorel, who was Joey Jennings in Baywatch. She was in a few episodes of Baywatch. Surprise, surprise. She was also Jilly Grazer in I'll Be Home for Christmas.
Okay.
So kind of cool, I guess. You had the other little girl who played Jessica Whittaker. Was the first one was Robin Weissman. who was in she was Mary in Three Men and a Little Lady.
Oh, is it that one? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. She was cute.
She was cute, but they wanted the annoying kid more. I don't understand why did I
like I hope that the Cubans would have like killed her in that one episode. I was really rooting for the Cubans, brother.
Yeah.
Brother. Now we also had Heidi Mark in this show, who played Allison Wilson. She was Kirk's wife in the movie Rockstar.
Okay. Okay. I know. Took me a minute, but yeah.
She was also Holly, and she also played a topless con artist in a couple episodes of Baywatch.
That's cool.
And she was Ashley in a handful of episodes of Married with Children.
Okay.
Oh.
Very cool.
This show also stars Kiki Shepard, who was Marta in NYPD Blue. And she was also Sophie Jones in Baywatch. So, we got another Baywatch connection.
Yeah.
Of course, she played Trelawney, or Trelawney.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys got that far in the movie or the show.
Which one was she again? What was her big character trait, Ethel?
Well, she wasn't like a voodoo lady per se.
Oh my God! She was like Bargain Bin, the chick that did those infomercials in the 90s. She was Bargain Bin, that chick. Oh my God! Fucking, this is the dream, whatever. Oh my God, Ethel, I hated that. I was like, oh, fuck you. Fuck you.
So that was a thing that we had in the show. So it was cool. She was also Warner Franklin in the movie Lady Boss.
Okay. She should be ashamed of herself for that role in this show. My God. This show seems a little racially insensitive. Is it just me, or did you think so, Ethel? Especially as we went further down.
I think as you go on, it gets a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, it was 1994. Let's face it, Shakespeare. This isn't.
No, I don't think anyone's gonna confuse him with that.
It's just an excuse for Hulk Hogan to pal around with Chris Lemon on a boat and check out the girls at the beach.
Do you like it when he's in a Speedo, Ethel? Because I'm not sexually attracted to Hulk Hogan. I'm not.
I feel like if maybe he had a different person's head on his body, maybe he wasn't so bulked up. Maybe it's too much. It's all too much. In the same can is too much.
And when he's in the water and his hair is all floofy in the water, I'm like, no, it doesn't work, Ethel. It doesn't work. I mean, I'm not being a dick. If you're sexually attracted to Hulk Hogan, God bless you. More power to you. Like the pasta carb things, brother. Fine, but no.
All right. We got it. We'll do a poll. Everyone in the audience who's sexually attracted to Hulk Hogan, say brother, and everybody in the audience who's sexually attracted to Chris Lemon, say homosexual. No, say that. We'll see which one wins.
Okay.
I guess. So the notable thing about this TV show, is that it stars Hulk Hogan's buddies. It's got a lot of wrestlers.
Yep.
Primarily of which we've got Jimmy Hart, we've got Ed Leslie, Brutus the Barber, Beefcake brother, and Jim Neidhart, who plays Kowalski. We also got Steve Borden in this. We got Sting.
Oh, where's Sting?
He's Hammerhead. He plays Hammerhead.
Oh, which one is that?
He's the bad guy. He's not. You haven't seen him yet. I think he comes along in episode 3, and I think it's episode 4, or episode 5, where there's an underwater penitentiary where they keep Hammerhead because he's that dangerous.
Okay, I gotta watch that.
In an underwater penitentiary?
Yep.
Okay. Wait, is he part shark? So he can fight Hulk Hogan as part whale? And does he have the face paint? Not the Crow version, but the original face paint from WWE?
No face paint. No face paint. He's got the bleach blonde hair. He's got like a crew cut. And he's a former SEAL, but he was a traitor, and that's why he doesn't get along with Hulk Hogan.
He's not part shark?
No, and we also have George Gonzalez in this.
Yeah.
Was the giant Gonzalez. He plays the character Mortador.
Yeah, I think I saw that episode. He probably can act better than any of the other people in this show, minus the first little girl.
Now, this surprise you guys. He was also in an episode of Baywatch.
Was he in the episode with Vader?
No, he was in the episode of Baywatch called Blindside, where he played a sort of circus act kind of fellow, where because he was big, he was like the main attraction, but he didn't want to be a big scary giant. He just wanted to carve wooden pelicans. And he befriends Hope.
God damn it, show. God damn it.
And then David Hasselhoff has to save him because even though he's a big scary giant, a bunch of Latino street toughs start hassling him on the pier, and he gets scared and falls off the pier.
As you do.
Yes, you do. Yeah, but you might
David Hasselhoff ever come on to Hulk Hogan's show?
No. But Hulk Hogan has been on Baywatch.
I knew
with
that.
Rick Savage and Vader and Ric Flair.
That's cool.
Now we got we had George Gonzalez. He was in the WWF. He was in WWE. He was in WCW. He also was in an episode of Swamp Thing.
That's cool.
Wait, Swamp Thing had a TV show?
Yeah, Swamp Thing had a TV show that also took place in Florida.
Where else? Really? Where else?
I know about the new one, but I didn't know there was an older one. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, you should check it out, Trench. You might like it. You might like the original Swamp Thing show.
It didn't last for very long, did it, Ethel?
But Swamp Thing, it ran like a season or two, maybe
That's
2 seasons, I think.
Yeah.
Scott Stevens is right. Wendy Malick from Just Shoot Me, who played Nina. Nina Van was it Nina Van Horn, Scott? I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen.
I believe it was. I think.
But yeah, she was Mitch's ex-wife, which we'll talk about Baywatch at some point. I'm going to do a whole stream on Baywatch because that's a secret sci-fi show. Like it's science fiction, but shh, doesn't want you to know. You have to really look for it.
So none of the cool people feel nerdy, right? Basically.
Exactly. If you enjoy science fiction, you can watch Baywatch, and if your dude bros start hassling on you about science fiction, you could say, "No, I'm watching Baywatch, man. I'm looking at the babes. Not at all interested in this mysterious Santa Ana winds that make people crazy, or the amphibious Jeep sub, or the it's crazy." The giant
totally
saltwater
forgivable.
electric eel that doesn't exist in real life.
Hey, Ben, Christian, and Kelly.
Hey guys. Hey Sparky. This show broke me, Sparky.
Yeah, no, it was fun. I just wanted to take a second to highlight comments because I realized I wasn't doing that, guys. I got all distracted with this because there's so much going on. So much going on with this show. And of course, the wrestlers that were in this, like they had little careers. And some of them did anyway. Steve Borden, he did the acting thing. He was in an episode of friggin'. Oh, he was Holler in Superforce.
Very cool.
And he was in an episode of Walker, Texas Ranger. Unsafe Speed, if you ever seen that episode.
I haven't. It's too bad Chuck Norris never came on this show.
Which I'm guaranteed I'll be doing a Walker, Texas Ranger stream the same month I do Baywatch, because that's also a secret science fiction show.
Wait a minute, Ethel, really?
It is. Like, there's an episode where they destroy a building with the sonic wave ray gun.
Oh. Okay.
And there's an episode where Walker, Texas Ranger is sent back in time.
Like Quantum Leap?
Sort of like Quantum Leap, but he has all his modern day stuff with him.
Oh.
But he's in the Old West.
Okay.
Does he fight Billy the Kid?
The guy, like, no, he fought some unruly outlaws. Guys, the 90s were a crazy, wild time where, like, you could do anything on television.
I'm beginning to realize that. See, dumb me, I never tuned in for Walker, Texas Ranger. I was that girl watching Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
I used to watch that, too. Ben Grimm, I have seen Mantis, and eventually we will talk about that, too, because that's a fun show. I like Mantis. Like, guys, you've seen Mantis, right?
I haven't. Sorry.
Oh God! You got a paralyzed fella who ends up fighting crime with an exoskeleton suit that he designs.
Oh, okay.
So he's a superhero?
Sounds
Yeah.
Like okay.
That's dope.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Ben.
Oh. Do they actually sacrifice him? I'm down for that.
Apparently, they should have sacrificed the new kid in this show. Not the old kid, the new one.
I agree with you, Trenchy.
If we sacrifice Ashley, can we get Robin back, please?
What were they thinking?
I don't know. And of course, we had Jim the Anvil Neidhart in this, who's WWF, Eastern Championship Wrestling, WCW, PWD, PWO, and TNA. Just to name a few promotions he was with. You had Jimmy Hart, WWF, WCW, TNA, Spectrum Wrestling, CWA Wrestling. There's a lot of W's and a lot of A's in these acronyms.
I can't throw in too much. I know nothing about wrestling. Hey,
Nightman was pretty good. That was a fun one, which we will also talk about at some point. See, Ben, it's like you read my little book that I have all my ideas in for shows, because like you're going through them all. Stop that.
But Jim the Anvil Neidhart is really cool. He was part of the Hart Foundation. It was a tag team / family, including Bret the Hitman Hart and Owen Hart, who sadly died. And he's like really strong. They would say, like, when they say he was like one of the strongest men, he won a strongman competition, Apple.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
And
Yeah,
of course,
mine-
we mentioned earlier that we had Brutus the Barber Beefcake in there, who was with Atlantic Wrestling, WWF, CWA, Spectrum Wrestling, NEWA, JCW for a brief period of time. Yeah, he wrestled for the Clowns and PWD. Yeah, I just had to get that in there. 'Cause it's you gotta acknowledge the illustrious wrestling career.
Very cool.
Yes, Sliders was dope, John. That's a good show. Which we've mentioned that before on a thing, but we can always go back to it again at some point. I don't know.
I gotta watch it. It sounds cool.
Oh, it's great. The only part I don't like is halfway through the series, before they get rid of him, Jerry O'Connell has face surgery, plastic surgery, and they make him look all weird. It's like, well, he looked cuter before. What'd you do that for? I don't know if you noticed that, Jen.
I didn't. I didn't. So much was thrown at me, Ethel. I should have taken notes, but so much. I was just wondering, and maybe you can answer, and maybe I'm going up too far ahead, but I was curious. I think I know why this didn't, but how come this didn't get a second season?
It underperformed in the ratings. You don't believe it?
I'm shocked. No.
Okay. What they should have done is got more wrestlers, like brought in Macho Man, and they should have brought in Roddy Piper as a villain, and it would have been better.
Well, it's kind of funny. As this show was nearing cancellation, Hulk Hogan was thinking about rebooting it, and this is what he wanted to do. He wanted to reboot the show with himself, Sting, and Mr. T as the primary cast.
Oh, so it's like the A-Team, but with wrestlers.
Yeah.
Okay. That's an idea.
Should have brought in Macho Man.
Macho Man makes everything better.
Yes, and Ben, Ric Flair, and Roddy Piper are like the main villains. It would have been amazing. Maybe Ted DiBiase too.
Well, did they? How did the show end, or did we leave on a cliffhanger? Is there some major cliffhanger of how it ended? I'm curious.
If I remember correctly, it just ends as if next week is going to happen.
Nate, you good?
Oh, Nate, it's all right, buddy. If you'd been here, it would have been cool because you could have mentioned wrestling stuff too. But that's okay. We'll get you next time. We'll get you next time, dude.
There will always be a morning after.
I plan on doing one of these specifically for wrestling at some point, where we talk about maybe the connection between wrestling and science fiction. Perhaps even the connection between wrestling and horror, because there's one there too. So
yeah,
that can happen at some point, but I'm saving that. It's like, I don't know.
Very cool.
It's like a delicious delicacy. It's got to be saved for the right time.
Exactly. That is a good idea, Ethel, because there is a big connection with horror and wrestling. I'm not a part of it, but most horror people, you talk to most horror people, that 9 times out of 10, they're a wrestling fan.
So like it'll happen. But getting back to Thunder in Paradise.
I also hate the theme song. I'm gonna say it.
You hate that theme song?
I hate the theme song. And that stupid bolt of lightning. This show broke me.
What about the end where they have the rock version of the theme song?
No, wasn't a fan. Didn't help it at all. No.
There's a hurricane coming.
No. There's a fucking hurricane. And why is that boat so big?
Paradise.
No, I'm sorry. I was there, and it's just I'd zone out, and then I'd zone back in, and I'm like, why is that his best friend sleeping at the foot of Hulk Hogan in the little girl's bed? That in itself seems wrong.
Well, it's weird because in the episode where he's trying to get custody of his daughter, several instances, Chris Lemon's character is like, well, she's sort of my daughter too. It's like, you're not married. What the fuck?
Yeah, in that wedding, they said Hulk Hogan says, "I love you." Something. It was such a bad line, my brain refused to retain it. But he's standing there in the tuxedo, and he says something about love, and then the other dude said something about love, and I'm like, it's on your wedding day, bro. I know it's like a sham wedding, but still, time and place, people.
Well,
time and place.
But Jen, he ended up making out with another woman in front of his new fake wife.
I'm thank you for bringing that up, Trench. I'm like, okay, that's just a dick move, bro. Not on a woman's wedding day, even if it's fake. To all you men out there, if you ever have to marry a woman so she can keep her hotel from her creepy uncle, just out of respect, don't do that. It's being a gentleman. Times may change, but standards must remain.
Now, oh dear God, but like it's a good point. Like guys, don't kiss other women during your sham wedding. Don't do it.
Bad
Come on.
form.
Bad form, bad manners, bad manners. Chris Lemon, because we know what this show is like. It's fun to watch, but we all dance around the fact that this is not a very good show. It's not very well put together. It's not very well acted. It's not very well written. It's got a boat. It's got a boat, and it's got Hulk Hogan.
Has problems.
Chris Lemon has said in interviews that doing this show is why he no longer gets work and why casting agents no longer call him and his career is dead.
I believe it. I totally believe it. That's right, Moon. Preach.
So this show.
Do you think that's why he doesn't get work, or at least attributed to it?
I can't say that you can blame all of it on this show. I mean, we are talking about Chris Lemon here.
He's actually one of the better ones in the show. It's not saying a lot, but you know.
Yeah, at least his lines never seem to be like not syncing with his actions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not very good. It didn't help his career at all. I mean, I'm not sure it killed it like he says it did. I think there's a few other contributing factors to that, but who might have point things out.
Sex tape is what fucked up Hulk Hogan.
But this was produced through Disney. Hulk Hogan, he got together with the Baywatch guys, and they went over to Disney. It was produced at Disney's Hollywood Studios near Orlando. It was filmed at Disney Grand Floridian Resort. That and Key West Resort is where the hotel stuff was filmed. A lot of the outdoors jungly stuff was filmed at Disney's Fort Wilderness Campground and at Epcot Center.
Okay.
So,
I'm sure Disney's very proud of this property. The mouse approves.
Now, Hulk Hogan, he quit WWF to film this TV series, and he ended up working with WCW. Just not even just because he's a wrestler, but because they happen to be in the studio next door.
He betrayed his own company out of convenience.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, he was set no matter what seemed to happen. It's that guy, he's made of rubber. He bounced back from any career disaster.
What about, Moon brings up a good point. What about the racist phone rant? I'm glad I'm not the one who brought it up first. Are we just not going to say anything about that?
We only talk about Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant and how cool it was. We don't talk about how he said the bad word lots of times and may or may not be racist. We don't talk about that. We live in denial.
Yeah, we try to remember the good times. We don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I do.
Oh yeah, John, that's a good point. Hulk Hogan is pretty much a brand.
Yeah.
So yeah, Hulk Hogan, he did this show. He ended up working for WCW. He quit WWF to do the show. He said in interviews that he didn't get to keep the boat. He was upset about this in interviews, I guess, or initially. And he had the boat built. He had a replica built for himself personally, and then he defended doing this, stating that he was heavily medicated.
Wait. Let's just stop the tape right here, Ethel. I mean, I don't mean you just said he was heavily medicated. But what was his reason for wanting to build her? I mean, did he want to go on adventures with the boat? I mean, was he just sitting in his compound going, boom, boom?
Yeah, I just maybe he liked the boat. Like for the trained eye. To the trained eye, that boat may look somewhat familiar if you're a Baywatch viewer, because I can't prove it, but I really think that's one of the boats they used in Baywatch, and they just painted it black and made a little roof for it and tarted the hood up a little bit.
Okay.
It's almost exactly the same fucking boat. It's just slightly different cosmetically.
That's fine, Ethel, but I think we're burying the lead here. What the fuck did Hulk Hogan do with that replica boat?
I assume he put it in his yard, or he took it out to the lake and pretended to be Hurricane Spencer.
While making racist phone calls and saying how his daughter shouldn't be with certain people. Wow.
But
what the hell he made that boat fall off the boat?
Now, so we know he has a boat replica, but you might be wondering, hey, well then what happened to the original boat? Well, I can tell you exactly what happened to the original boat, because I know that's what everybody's really interested in, not the racist calls that don't get made. But the original boat was purchased by Jeremy Clarkson on a TV show. And the original boat, like they actually didn't call it Thunder. When they're doing the show, in the show it was called Thunder, but apparently that's just its stage name. The real name.
Wait, the boat has a stage.
The boat has a stage name.
You can't write this shit, Trenchy.
Yeah, I got mute for a sec.
All right, Trent, should I wait for you to come back, because it gets better?
I'm still here. I don't want to mess up the flow of the show.
The boat has a stage name, and stage name was Thunder in the show. That's a character it plays. The boat's actual name was Razzle Dazzle.
Of course it was. Of fucking course it was.
What?
Yeah.
Why is the boat not in the credits? Why is it say and Thunder being played by Razzle Dazzle? Like, that would be amazing.
Please tell me someone from the costume department got super pissed, and so they got their Bedazzler and just fucking bedazzled the shit out of it. That's why it's got its name. Please tell me that happened.
So Jeremy Clarkson, he purchases Razzle Dazzle, and then he decided to rename Razzle Dazzle. He wanted to rename it. So he named it, and I'm not making this up. He renamed it Jizzle Drizzle.
Was it used for porn?
No.
Did this
But
boat go on to be in porn? That's a fucking porn name.
This poor boat. I feel bad. The boat is the victim. Cause it's like, Jesus. Why not just name it Thunder? Like, why is it a stage name? Does that even work?
In my headcanon, that boat is working on porn. That is my headcanon.
Oh, fucking full moon right here. A houseboat from Riptide wasn't really the Riptide because you couldn't use that kind of term as a name for a boat due to the possible Mayday calls. Oh, okay. Okay, so that makes sense. They did have to pilot this boat in open waters for certain scenes, potentially. So maybe that was a concern. So they said if we have to do a Mayday, maybe we could call it Razzle Dazzle. Or if you're Jeremy Clarkson, Mayday, Mayday, this is Jizzle Drizzle. We're taking on water.
This is sad, Ethel. This is getting sad.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
No.
So it had that going for it. There are many wrestlers involved in this show. We've mentioned some of their names. Also notable wrestlers to mention that were in episodes of the show. We had Terry Funk, and we had Fred Osto. So.
Well, did he have his chainsaw? Because I think, did Terry Funk use the chainsaw?
Yeah, he was Chainsaw Charlie, and he almost cut himself open with the chainsaw when he debuted because he had to chainsaw himself out of a wooden box.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Welcome to wrestling, Jen. Welcome to wrestling.
And they had him shake the chainsaw over his head, but it was dripping fuel on his face, which was potentially dangerous because he had to then take the chainsaw and like use it against like the ring post or something. He was making sparks with it, and he was covered in gasoline, so it's potentially dangerous.
Safety first.
Yeah, I don't know how he didn't die. Like, those guys are amazing. They just don't die.
The wonderful world of wrestling. So Razzle Dazzle Thunder in the show was named Thunder in the show because Hulk Hogan's hometown NHL team was the Tampa Bay Lightning, so they named it after the Lightning. So they named it Thunder.
Okay, that's cool. That's a nice little tribute.
So, that's cool too. A fun fact, after production would wrap for each session, each episode, because sometimes it'd take a couple days to film an episode, sometimes longer, who knows. They're filming at Disney. Hulk Hogan would like to spend lots of time after shooting at Hooters because there was a Hooters nearby. And and
the story doesn't bode well.
Well, in a funny coincidence, Heidi Mark, whose first acting role was this film, was a Hooters girl. Now, I don't know if she was a Hooters girl at that particular Hooters, but Hooters was still a thing that's connected to this. Every time Hulk Hogan thinks about his involvement in Thunder in Paradise, he remembers those nights where he would go have hot wings at Hooters and to the waitresses and flirt with them and have beers and talk about how he is Randolph Hurricane Spencer, ex-Navy SEAL and superboat captain.
Okay, then. Classy kind of, yeah. Whenever your story starts with a Hooters, you know you're in for some class.
Like, I don't know, John. That's a good possibility. He may have taken some of the Hooters girls back to the hotel. That could have happened.
No.
Oh goodness. So yeah, originally in this show for the role of Brew, aka Brew Baker, George Foreman was approached, and he would have done it, except he was actually busy. He had another commitment, so he couldn't be in this. So we almost had George Foreman as the buddy to Hulk Hogan in this show. So.
He was probably busy draining fat off of those steaks and that contraption he had. The lean mean thing? I don't know.
The damn grill. That is the worst thing you can do to a burger. I'm just gonna say that.
It's probably
now.
What it was.
Now, in case you guys couldn't get enough excitement and action from the movies and from the TV series, which is basically just the movies, but 45 minutes each. You find yourself wanting more. You get home, you've seen all the episodes. You don't want to pop one on. You say, oh, gee, I wish there was something else I could do that was Thunder in Paradise. Well, I've got good news for you.
Oh, God damn it.
You could always, change to Channel 3 and fire up your old CRT TV and the old CDI. And you could pop in Thunder in Paradise for the CDI, and you could play it with realistic looking footage shot specifically for the game, and you could pilot Thunder on Navy SEAL missions, and yeah.
Is there homoeroticism in the game as well?
Have homoerotic bedtime with Chris Lemon.
Yay.
So,
Did you ever play it, Ethel?
No, I didn't. I didn't have a CDI along with 99% of everybody else in America.
Yeah. But somebody must have had it. Did anyone in the chat have one?
If you had a CDI and you played Thunder in Paradise, the game, please tell me, because I want to know. And what was your experience? Did you like it? Did you feel like you were Randolph Hurricane Spencer or Brew Baker going on a secret boat mission, as mercenaries do?
As mercenaries do. Also, Ethel, again, I know I'm like coming across as a nitpicky bitch tonight, but I'm just gonna own it. That's what I am tonight, is a nitpicky bitch. But like, okay, so Hulk Hogan was poor, and that's why he had to marry the Hotel Harris or whatever the fuck she was. But I always assumed that missionaries probably got paid a lot. Like, and then you also had the shark hunting thing, which I don't know how much that would be. But I thought like you were rolling in it if you were if you were a mercenary.
Maybe not. I mean, maybe he wasn't a very good mercenary.
That seems.
Although he seemed to do a good job on the show, but you know what? That boat was really expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, he did when he was fighting the giant Gonzalez. He magically hit the air with the surfboard, and Gonzalez didn't feel it because he hit the air. But I think he was supposed to hit Gonzalez, but I don't know.
So it was a show that it was a show that I used to watch. And it used to come on in the afternoons, late afternoons. I think it would come on at like 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, early evening, late afternoon time. And I remember many a time I would watch this show after getting home from like the beach or whatever, and it was nice. It's fun. Like there's never any explosions when I go to the beach.
That's true.
You know, no wrestlers on the beaches here in Maine. No. But
Aw.
Okay. Well, this was an interesting experience. I'm not sure I'm going to thank you, Ethel, but I probably wouldn't have bothered with it if it weren't to prepare for this show. So, thank you. I think.
well, like you got to experience this show, and like everybody seems to forget. And now, if it ever comes up in conversation, you can say, "Aha! I have seen that show, and it's absolutely terrible."
Yeah, Moon, that's why they had to put him in the flesh suit.
Yeah, I maybe this will impress somebody in my life, Ethel. Maybe I'll be at a dinner party and I'll like have nothing to say, and then I'll bring up Thunder in Paradise, and I'll have my audience riveted, and they'll think, "Wow, that Jen, she's fucking cultured and classy and well-rounded." No, it's not that before, but maybe.
You could watch it. You could watch it with Christian.
No, Christian can watch this on his own. God, he wants to. I called him this afternoon when I was watching something because I was going into a little bit of a hissy, and I was like, "Dude," and he's like, "This sounds awesome."
Oh, it's great. It was great. And no, John, no, but it is great. It needed Vader though, and Yokozuna. Like they could have done way better than Giant Gonzalez. But he's not a bad actor.
Yeah.
He was the Pelican Man in Baywatch. Come on, he can carve a pelican in everybody's business.
I never seen that, but he was better than most of the cast of the show that I saw. I mean, he didn't do much, but he still played his role better than Hulk Hogan, who looked constipated in the intro. Like he's running from explosion and looked constipated. Like Hulk Hogan was amazing in the ring, like well not as as a character, but like as an actor in a movie, it's weird.
Yes, I do, Full Moon. I couldn't remember the name of it, but I do remember that. It was a weird looking big rig. And it had the helicopter that came up the top. And didn't it have a motorcycle or a car or something that came out the back? I seem to remember. Much like Thunder has a jet ski that comes out the back, even though there's no way you could fit a jet ski in a boat that size. Okay.
Where the hell was I when all these shows were playing? That is my question. Where the hell was I?
Yeah, you missed this show. You missed Viper. You missed fucking Airwolf. Like, what the hell, Jen?
I'm not. You guys are probably questioning if I'm an 80s and 90s kid. You guys are probably wondering. She's phony. She's fake.
You got to say it like this. You got to go, "It's a fake." You Deep Space Nine fans will get that joke.
Full Moon, I have to watch another show. God damn it, Full
Moon. Number
Make
15.
Christian watch some stuff when he gets home.
But it's an experience, and like I encourage everybody to watch these things, not because they're good, but because they're bad, because they're not very good, and they give you a different level of enjoyment. Like it's unintentional comedy. It's entertaining.
Yeah. all joking aside, it is good to kind of immerse yourself and get yourself out of your normal wheelhouse, because you can appreciate and look at things, and you'll be a more well-rounded person, which you're thinking, Jesus Christ, Thunder in Paradise. Yes, you'll be a more well-rounded person if you can appreciate something, a Shakespeare thing or Thunder in Paradise. I would want to know that person that can talk to your ear about both things. So yeah. Go make yourself more interesting, people.
Yeah, it's not in the description of this video because I neglected to do so. If you need a link to the show, it's in the description of the last video I did for Viper. But I will, once I'm done here, put a link in the description to the channel that has these episodes, and you can watch them in sequence on this person's channel. They're a little fuzzy because they were taped with a VCR and then onto a DVD and then uploaded onto the internet. But watch it. It's good watching. It'll be a good way to kill a few minutes here or there. It's fun. It's popcorn.
Yep. It's an experience.
Trench, would you recommend somebody watch this?
Oh yeah, it's great. Hulk Hogan's in it. He does things.
That's a great way to describe it, Trench.
There's a boat that does things too. It's amazing.
Razzle dazzle, whatever.
Jizzle Drizzle. They changed its name.
Oh God. Okay.
But yeah, and this was the show that we decided I decided to round out the Super Sci-Fi Vehicles month. I might bring this theme back because there are a few shows that I didn't mention that have super sci-fi vehicles that they seem to center around, and I think I'd like to spend time for each show individually instead of lumping them in, because initially I was going to put like Street Hawk and now that I've reminded of what the name is, Highwaymen in this, and there's a couple other ones I could mention. But I think I'm going to save those, and I think I'm going to do like Super Sci-Fi Vehicles Part 2.
The Revenge?
The Revenge! And we'll get 4 more episodes of Sci-Fi Sunday where we talk about these vehicles, and I'm going to save it and make you guys wait so you don't know and you get aggravated with me and you say, bitch, why don't you just fucking do it? Like, come on. Like, I don't know, because like, there's other stuff. There's other stuff, guys.
Anticipation.
Patient.
Exactly. Very cool.
But it should be a lot of fun. And yeah, so winding things down, we had a lot of excitement today. I'm going to go and give everybody a chance to plug their shit, to plug their projects, what's going on. That's a better way to say it. And I'm going to go in clockwise order as I normally do with the person to my immediate right, which this time happens to be Jen from Jen's Reviews of the Grave. Jen, what's cracking?
What's cracking? Well, I think right after this stream, I'm going to get a fucking juice box and take a nap because this one, tuckered me out. I'm old. But no, what is cracking is Sparky and I will be doing a couple of more videos the way we've been doing them. The Tales from the Crypt episode, probably a couple of movies. Marty and I did not get to do 9.5 weeks this Saturday. Apologies, guys, but we're still working out the schedule, and Marty was just really tired last night, so we just couldn't do it. But we will do 9.5 weeks. It's on the horizon. We will be doing it, and it should be good time have by all. So, yeah. So just those just stuff and things, guys, stuff and things. And Sparky should be coming home sometime this month. So I know everyone's missed him. So he should be coming home sometime this month.
Well, that should be pretty good, and I look forward to seeing him return to your side, to be your constant companion, your handy sidekick the Robin to your Batman. Well, your Batwoman.
Woohoo! Yeah. Oh, and also, guys, we just put it up today. We have a top. Well, 5 and 5 plus 2 is 12. So we have our moons thing. We're doing our 5 favorite movies from 1981 plus an honorable mention. And Christian throws in his 2 cents too, and it's a really good video. And definitely go sub to Full Moon because it was his brainchild. We're behind. We're only doing one a month, but that video dropped yesterday today. So check it out.
Yeah.
It went up yesterday, he says. We're going to put it on the screen here. Come on the screen. Do it because I pressed the button. There we go.
No, I haven't seen Bat Pussy yet, John. But it sounds right up my alley.
Dear God. Tredge, what's the next thing we can look forward to? The next live stream you may be taking part of? The next thing you may want us to look out for? Maybe there's something you want to recommend. I don't know.
Well, there's a few things. One on my channel is coming up. I'm going to be doing a tag created by John Steele. I don't know why he created it, but it's a very good tag. And I'll probably tag people in it. And coming up on Kara Master of Fear channel, we have a Spider-Man 2 stream at some point. And next Sunday, we're going to be doing essentially the 90s MCU before the MCU, discussing my favorite cartoon of all time, the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, and some X-Men in there too, and some, Silver Surfer, Iron Man, Hulk. We might touch on all of those a little bit, but mainly Spider-Man and X-Men. And everybody, Apple and John are probably going to be there, and other people on Kara's channel.
Very cool.
Very good. Very good. Definitely be there.
Or be square.
Yes. Check it out. Do it out. It'll be there without a doubt. And as for me, this is the off week for watch along. So this Friday there'll be no watch along, but there will be voting, and you can vote. And I encourage everybody to do that. It's a thing you can do. And the way you do that is you can actually contact me on Twitter or on Instagram. You follow me or just say something, do whatever, at _Ethel_Cross_. And you can vote for it there. You'll see it. It's not pinned yet, but it will be pinned soon. Keep an eye out for it. And if you just want to talk to me, you can do that there. And of course, I'll be taking part in Sunday's show over with Trench and all them. It's not Sci-Fi Sunday, but it is Sunday, and I will be on. And you can look for me here, look for me there. I'm seem to be everywhere, and that's the thing. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like it, give it a thumbs down. Tell me why. Tell me why it sucks. Tell me why you don't like it. Tell me that you liked Knight Rider better, and that should have been a talking boat instead of a car. And we'll talk about it. It's fine. And if you really like this and you're really enthused about watching these things, you should subscribe and hit the bell for notifications, because that's what we do on YouTube. Hey, YouTube, we hit the bell, and you'll be notified all the time when I do this. I'll pop up on your timeline. You'll see one of my spiffy little thumbnails, and you can plan to watch it. Be there. I want to thank everybody who joined us in the chat. We had Scott Stevens, we had Kelly, we had John Steele, we had DMC Campbell, we had Full Moon, we had Kara, Master of Fear, we had Brian Kubrick Lover, we had Nate the Horror Boy. We had Toko Agogo, fucking Sparky. We had who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting somebody. Did I say Scott Stevens?
Yes, I don't know. You did now.
I did now. And
Art was here,
Art
and
was
my friend Paul was lurking, but he said he was watching.
Very cool.
okay. Well, we welcome him to be here and thank him for being here as well. And if you weren't mentioned, I'm sorry. I mean to mention everybody, but I can't. I'm only human. I'm sorry. I still appreciate you, still love you. And if you didn't comment, but you were watching, and I have no way to know you're there, I still know you're there. And thank you for watching. And you should also watch these people's things. Check out Jen's reviews from the grave. She does solid reviews, and she does these types of shows too. And it's fun. You should check it out. Usually she's teamed up with her cantankerous son Christian, who he's always fun. And
Or a sexy Irishman.
yeah, or a swarthy yet sexy Irishman. No, I don't know. You know what I mean. Don't stab me, Jen. I'm just following your lead.
It's okay. I'll let it go this time. But I'm watching you, Ethel.
And check out Trenchy. Check out his channel, The Soulless Trenchcoat. He's an often guest and a hell of a pal, and we appreciate him all the time. Check his shit out. Subscribe to both people's channels. They make wonderful content, and they're my friends. And if you like me, you should like them too. God damn it! So, with that, I want to thank everybody for watching. Like seriously, thank you a lot, and I hope I see you coming around here again. And yeah, have a great rest of the night. Thank you. Adios.
Stay frosty.